Hello everyone and welcome back to the Taiko World Cup 2025 Quarterfinals. We have our match between Turkey and Poland. Decently close in seeding and pretty decent kind of well-known players on both sides. Yep, 12 and 15. So yeah, both of these countries have been kind of improving over the past couple of years. Turkey kind of rising up as a newer country, kind of slowly gathering players over time, with Poland being a country that in the past was very, very well known, and kind of their old players phase out and their new players are coming in, getting up to speed and slowly making their way up the ladder. So I will not be casting this alone. I also have DrownX with me. Hello.
Hello. Excited to cast a match today, after the unfortunate circumstances of the first one.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
And for the record, unfortunate circumstances is just a match took a long time. Nothing bad.
Yeah. Our earlier schedule was a bit insane, to say the least. Yeah, just matches taking a bit longer than expected, paired with a very tight schedule, resulted in just everything having to kind of get postponed a wee bit, and an entire match couldn't get streamed because other matches were over the top of it. We only have the resources realistically for 2 streams at a time, so we can only do so much. But yeah, I believe we are waiting for a couple of Polish players to make their way into the lobby. So we're just gonna kind of entertain you as we go. Kind of, I guess, maybe talk a bit more about what's happened in the World Cup so far, and maybe what's gonna potentially happen later on this weekend, and maybe further afield.
Yeah,
so.
I mean,
Since you're saying you haven't managed to cast a match yet, have you at least kept up with what we've been seeing so far this weekend?
Oh, only a little bit.
Only a little.
There were a lot of matches that took place before I woke up, so. You know.
Do you know?
It's 2 p.m. for me right now. I woke up at 9:30.
Well, we started off with Netherlands, New Zealand. Which very unexpectedly, to all but one person on Pick'ems, went to a tiebreaker with New Zealand winning.
About 15 minutes ago, I did look at the information sheet, and I was surprised to actually see getting a lot of close matches. I mean, I guess it is quarterfinals, so of course the matches are starting to get closer, but.
And of course it didn't stop there with Australia, France also going to tiebreaker, with France winning that one. So very unexpected results. We're having the lower seeded team win. We also saw that with Slovakia versus Vietnam.
Yeah,
Slovakia being the lower seeded team winning that one as well.
That Discord, that one was wild. See the scores for.
Yeah, that one was like a tiebreaker denial as well. If Vietnam had won that point, we would have gone to another tiebreaker.
Yeah.
But speaking of tiebreakers, we also saw another one this weekend so far, our third one between Singapore and Taiwan, which once again the lower seeded Taiwan took the win.
Tiebreaker just weighted towards them, I guess.
You would never think that a very, very technically demanding tiebreaker, especially at this stage of the tournament, would end up favoring the lower seeded team 3 times in a row.
Or maybe it's the reverse. Maybe just the qualifiers didn't suit them.
Entirely possible. I have a spreadsheet where I'll not go into it too much, but I've been keeping track of where teams seed versus where they end up, and kind of assigning score to that, to kind of maybe try to figure out where has, what has the results kind of been, how kind of close to perfect are they? Of course, you can't really account for every single variable that does take place, but I'm hoping that maybe over a couple of years I'll potentially find some interesting results, and maybe it can help create like a better qualifiers that can best and most accurately seed the teams.
I really like the one spreadsheet that someone made where they took countries' performances across all World Cups and just ranked them according to their respective placings.
Yes,
and Japan was like second or third place purely off the back of winning TWC almost every single time.
Yeah, every single official World Cup has had a Japan win, and there was the first 3 Taiko World Cups weren't officially run by staff; they were technically like community tournaments. And on the second one, Japan only got second place. But they made up for it by getting first and third the next year.
Yeah,
because back then the game was small enough that B teams were kind of required to make up enough teams in order to run a proper tournament. But yeah, seems like we're still waiting to see if we can get some more Polish players into the lobby.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, due to the rules of the tournament, we cannot advance with a match if there are less than 3 players for a team.
Yeah. It may be a little redundant to say, but you can't really play a 3v3 tournament with 2 people on your team.
Yeah, I mean, in standard, because it's combo based, you could potentially get away with it, although I also believe it is against the rules just for consistency. But in Taiko, it's just impossible. Especially kind of at the level that we're playing at. If it was, like, a bunch of 2 digits and then, like, some 4 digits, like, on a difficult pool, then the 2 digits would probably still be able to win 2 versus 3. But in cases like we have here in the World Cup at the quarterfinals, it just wouldn't be possible.
You know, you just made me think of like the stupidest possible tournament format. We just put like 2-digit players against like 3-4-digit players and make them play really hard maps and see if the 2-digit can win.
I feel like you see this, like, you'll end up seeing it's like YouTube videos or something where it's like, oh, can
speedrunner
like a
versus
bunch of like
hunters.
bronze players take down like 2 grandmasters in whatever game,
Yeah.
whatever ranking system? Yeah. So I'm sure you could probably like create that kind of situation for Taiko as well.
I'm just trying to think of like what would be a rank bracket where this is even remotely fair.
Well, I don't even know, because you'd
Because
also
like
have to take the
I
difficulty
feel
of
like
the
there's
maps into consideration as well.
there's so many most of the configurations I can think of are very heavily weighted towards one side or the other.
Yeah.
Because like if it's more than 3 people, like it has to be 4-digit players. Because like, and for the record, I'm saying this as like a 3/4-digit player myself. We're good enough that 3 of us could probably beat a 2-digit on a chart just because of score.
Yeah. Because it's like, even if you... Yeah, because I know from personal
surely
experience
we could get
that
300k each.
Yeah, it's like, even if you basically cannot play the map, and you're getting like 80% accuracy, you're still probably going to get around like 400,000 score.
Yeah.
Just with the way that our scoring system works. So, yeah, when the maximum score is only 1 million, each player only needs to get 333,000 if it's like 3 players.
Yeah.
So you'd have to make the map very difficult to bounce out. So, I mean, I'm sure there's possibility with like something in the future if people are willing to experiment with that kind of thing.
I think we could get three to work if it's like if we get like lower ranked 4-digit players.
Yeah, if you went like really like grand finals, kind of grand finals kind of level as well, that would probably have something. And okay, looks like our yapping caused time to pass really fast, and the ruling is if a team cannot produce 3 players within kind of 10 minutes after the starting time of their match, they automatically lose. Poland has not been able to produce at least 3 players at this time, therefore Turkey wins by default. And they will advance on through the bracket, and they will be playing tomorrow. Fortunately, I don't have the bracket up, so I can't see who they'll be playing and when.
I think it was Indonesia. I also closed
Indonesia at Sunday, 14 UTC. So if you're a Turkey fan and really want to see them to play, make sure you come back to the World Cup stream then, 14 UTC Sunday. And unfortunately for Poland, this is a really sad way to say goodbye to them because they definitely had a lot of potential. I think this would have been a very, very fun match to watch and cast.
Yeah. With had a lot of good matches already, and I think this would have just been another one to put on the list.
Absolutely, but sometimes life gets in the way, and you can't predict everything that'll happen. So we hope to see you return next year, stronger than ever. But with that, we'll probably end up kind of pausing the stream for a while as we have our next and I believe last match of the day at 19 UTC, so about 45 or so minutes from now.
I will be back for that. I think
I will also be back for that. Yeah. So if you also just wanted to come here and see us cast, be back here in about 45 minutes. But until then, we will see you later.
See ya.